What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to talk about more name change information. So before I get into the video, I would like to say that if you hear noise, it's my sister in the kitchen. I can't avoid the noise, so I hope you guys don't get bothered by it too much. I'm sure that you have guessed from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about how you get your name changed onto your social security card. On YouTube, I've looked, the only time they talk about a name change, it's literally just going to the courthouse. There are not any videos that I have seen personally where the steps go beyond going to the courthouse. So I've done this step and getting my social security card changed, so I want to help you guys do this step as well. Also, I want to add, for those of you that don't have a social security number because you're not an American citizen, I don't know how these steps go for you, even if you have like a card or something like that. This video is just for people who are American citizen and they have a social security card number. So I don't know if I said this yet, but this video is for a lot of people who are trans or FTM or male to female, and they're like binge watching on just like YouTube videos of like the process and the steps and stuff that you want to take. If you want, you can include this in your FTM checklist, and if you don't know what that is, I made a video about it and I will put a link to it in the cards, and you guys can check that out and see what I mean by that. The first step in basically doing this is calling your local social security office. When you call them, their area might probably give you a 1-800 number, which is what happened to me. So you're not calling the local office, you're calling like, I guess, like the government office or whatever, and I kept getting that number, and of course you're on hold for a certain amount of time, especially depending on when you call. Especially like if you want to call early in the morning, you might not be on hold that long. It just depends. And if you look hard enough, you might even find the actual number to the local office that you're going to be going to, because they'll probably give you answers a lot quicker, a lot faster, and you don't have to wait like 20 to 30 minutes for it. So some of the questions that you can ask them when you call would be, what documents do you need when you go to the social security office? Another thing is, a big important thing is, if you can't like go, if you don't have a car or it's too far away or anything like that, and you want to mail it in, which is an option, you just have to download the, I want to say it's the S5 application. And the worst thing about this step is you will have to mail in your driver's license or your ID. When I say photocopies, I mean you can't like scan a picture of it and get a copy of it. You literally have to mail in the actual ID. Like, that's it, nothing else. No substitutes for it, the actual real thing. Because it is a rule or the protocol that they have where if you want to get your social security card name changed on it, you will have to mail that in, and you will be without it for 2 weeks, well, a week to 2 weeks, depending on how fast they can send it out. That was a big thing for me, which is why I ended up having to go see them. And if you do go see them, you will leave with the driver's license, but if you can't go and mailing it in is a problem for you, see maybe if you can find like a friend, or even if you have to walk or something, or try and get a taxi cab or something like that. But that was a really big part of like the whole process for me. Okay, so if you do have the ability to go to the local office, I recommend you go in the early morning, like as early as like you can, like, or as early as they open, because it gets pretty busy pretty fast. It's a government office, kind of like the DMV, so it gets packed pretty fast. And if you live in like a little town or city or something like that, and you know you don't have that many like people living in the area, you might get lucky and it might not be that many people in there. But if you live in a place like let's say Atlanta, like major cities, then you might want to go very early. And I say this because the one I went to, I don't live in a big city, but the city I was in, it was big enough for it to be a lot of people in there. The one I went to, I was there for like 2 hours. I got there at like 11ish and I left around like 1, and majority of it was waiting. The actual initial process only took like maybe 10-15 minutes, maybe. That's like the max, I would say. I didn't take any longer than that. So when you walk into it, depending on, I guess, the way it's set up, I'm going off of the way it looked when I went in. You go in straight, and then there's like 2 machines, and they ask for like why you're coming, and then they'll ask for your social security number. and they'll give you a piece of paper, and it will tell you what place you are in, like in the list, so that you can be seen. And you sit in a bunch of chairs, and basically you're waiting for your turn to be called, your number to be called next. If that doesn't make much sense to you, if you have your driver's license or you went to get your ID, think of it as the process of going to the DMV, where they give you a ticket with a number on it and you wait for them to call your name. It's just like that. Now, before you actually go to the Social Security office, make sure that you have, I had these things. I had to have my driver's license. I also had the final court order that I got from the court stating that my name had been changed. So you definitely need to have your court order. You can't do it without it. It has to be the final court order that you got. I brought my driver's license, and I think I actually brought my old Social Security card just in case for some reason they were supposed to take it and, I don't know, destroy it or something like that, but you actually keep it. But the next thing will happen is once you get to the window and you go through like the main process of them like checking the papers and making sure everything is in order, you have to give them a mailing address to mail your Social Security card to, because you don't get a new one when you leave. You have to get it mailed to you. And I would recommend, like, if you're going on vacation or something like that and you're going to be there a week or 2 weeks, make sure that you can send it there, or if you're going to not be on vacation, then just send it to your house. It's as simple as that. Now, in the state of Georgia, I did read that you have 60 days to get your driver's license changed, the name on your driver's license changed. I'm not really sure why you have to do that. I guess just to make sure everything's up to date and in order. I personally don't have mine changed yet, but you do have to have that changed. And if you don't get it changed in 60 days, I don't think anything bad happens. Honestly, when I read about it, it didn't say the consequences or anything. It just said you had to have that changed in 60 days. But if you don't, maybe you get charged like a little bit more when you do get it changed at the DMV. I'm not sure. If anybody knows the answer to that question, please leave in the comments that we all can figure out what would happen. And the last thing you want to do is get everything that you have changed that required your Social Security information and just your name in general. A lot of people say that once you get your name changed with the court, then you can go and change like your bank information and stuff like that. But most banks and those type of companies require your Social Security number, and so that's why it's the first thing you need to get changed, because most places require that to be changed before they can change your information in the system. And that's pretty much it. That's basically the whole process of getting your Social Security card name changed. And I wanted to make this video because, like I said, there are no videos that I've seen about it, and I wanted there to be video on it, the process of how it works and how it goes. And it's not a very hard process. It's not like strenuous, and you don't have to pay anything because the whole thing is free. You just go in and you get everything done and you leave, and that's it. The video is also for people who aren't transgender. It's for people who just got their name changed for any reason and they want to get their Social Security card changed. Well, it's the same process initially. I just wanted people to know that this is a process that does need to happen. You do have to get your Social Security card changed if you well, you don't have to get it changed, but getting your name changed with the court, it kind of makes sense to get other things changed as well. So I just wanted to say that and put that in the air, so that now everyone knows, because for some people it's not as obvious and you don't just know what to do next, which is what I was here for. And luckily I went through the process. Also, the next video I do with the name change, I will most likely be talking about getting my birth certificate changed. So when I do, there will be a video on that. So I think that's everything I want to say. Until next time, I'll see you guys next week. Peace out. I've been having this phlegm in my throat shit for the past 20 minutes, bitch. Jimmy, you through, right? What are you doing? Where's Jimmy? I'm still recording. Oh my gosh, man, quit!